Okay. Hopefully I'm going to do this right because once again my directions are on my phone, which I'm using to record. I have to figure something out about that one of these days. At work there was some leftover like pizza. It was kind of like weird, kind of like spinach and whatever kind of weird cheese they put with it. I'm not sure. If that was all they had, that I would have taken that. But they also had what appeared to be a calzone, maybe a spinach calzone, which I do really love those, and possibly a meat stromboli. Well, maybe that's what a stromboli is. So I figured I should probably take the one that would be like more calories, more filling, since, you know, not eating the way I should, not eating enough. It's from a local restaurant. Brings back memories of when I lived in Vegas and worked at an Italian place with like the guys from Sicily and stuff, so it was pretty cool. I've always, ever since I was a teenager, when I used to go to Gold's Gym, there was these 3 guys from Boston that I was friends with, and so I was Jennifer. I think one of them, maybe I kind of had a crush on one of them, and I think he had this thing for like Italian food, and that kind of rubbed off on me. And I mean, I always loved Italian food anyway. But yeah, so I just really, when I started cooking for a short time, that was always my thing, was Italian. I would love to someday get a, you know, the little machines so you can do the homemade pasta. But anyway, baby steps. So I've got this thing. It's a little well done, which I don't prefer that. I prefer lighter stuff that's more lightly toasted. So it's pretty much like that's, I wouldn't want it any further than that. I'm gonna have to reheat it. So I got some instructions from my chat bot, and what it said to do, oh, I didn't get the parchment paper yet. So I meant to put this on here before I started this. I usually put off these corners and do it. So it's not, you know, sitting against the side of the oven and kind of burning. But it doesn't matter. But anyway, so the directions said I could put like some olive oil on this or some water for some moisture. I don't have a lot of olive oil left, but I think I will do that. Oh, by the way, I tried out that microphone I got. It sounds terrible. My phone sounds like 100 times better than the audio sounds with that microphone, so what a waste. Anyway, so I'm just going to pour a little bit on here and maybe rub it in. Okay, that's pretty good. Hopefully it won't burn with this extra olive oil in there. I don't want to waste time washing my hand while I'm recording, so I'm just gonna temporarily, just to get the oil off, I'm just gonna use one of these baby wipes. I like these Huggies ones that are just the natural care because they don't really have an odor and they're mostly water, but they do seem to do a nice job of getting stuff. If you get Sharpie on your hand, it'll take it off, which makes me wonder about the claim that it's like 99.9 something % water. Okay, so, but yeah, man, yeah, the Italian place in Vegas, that was good times. Anyway, yeah, don't want to get sidetracked on a tangent. So what the thing said to do was to tent, I don't know, there's still oil on my hand, shoot, oops. To tent this over this thing, I don't exactly know what that means. If you're just like fold it like in an A-frame, or if you're just supposed to loosely lay it on top of there. Well, yeah, it doesn't really seem like it wants to cooperate real well. Well, that's not a tent, that's more like a carport, but hey, whatever, we'll give it a try and see how it goes. My oven is at 325. They said you could do 325 or 350. We're going lower because I don't want this getting overdone. Now, it also said something about putting, I better do the timer before I get sidetracked. Time, I think it was like 18 max. So I don't know how to use my microwave. We'll go 15 minutes. Let's check it. Yeah, it said you could slide another pan under there to protect the bottom. As you kind of progress with these chatbots, the story kind of changes a little bit sometimes. And sometimes you have like 2 different possibilities of what you could do. And I don't remember how many minutes in it said to slide that under there. Maybe I'll do it halfway through. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we've got like 14 minutes, so I'm going to stop this, and then hopefully I can combine these up on free Canva or something. It's really weird to like be like getting food for dinner that you're not even sure for sure what it is. Hopefully it's going to be delicious though. I haven't had a stromboli in forever, and the place I used to work at, they were the best. They were so good. In fact, I don't really like ricotta cheese, or as they like to call it, rigotte. I got chastised by an Italian lady customer one time because I called it ricotta and not rigotte. But anyway, yeah, I don't really like that cheese. However, they did a mix of rigotte, mozzarella, and the spinach, which I don't remember if they like oil pan fried that spinach first or not, but plain, like by itself, probably be, it's edible, but maybe a little plain. But we used to serve it with like we had meat sauce and then just regular no meat tomato sauce, I guess. I don't know, what do you call it? So when you eat the spinach calzone dipped in that meat sauce, or the red sauce, tomato sauce, oh, it was so good. Like, I didn't really think I was gonna like it. I do like spinach. I've always liked spinach, but because of the ricotta, I was like, so good, so good. I miss that place. New York style pizza. Like I say, the main guy was from Sicily, and then at least one of the other guys was from Sicily. And then my boss at my store was from Brooklyn, I think. And the weird thing is, when I went and lived in Brooklyn one summer, back in like, I don't know, 2008-ish, I think, I lived in the neighborhood that was like right on the border between the Italians and the Puerto Ricans. So of course that was heaven for me because, Italian, I love Italians. I would love to marry like a New York Italian. So it was like great. It was like little Italy to me. And the best iced coffee I've ever had in my life. Cafe Capri. I don't know if they're still, I think they've closed. They were so great. This kind of like older man and a woman who were friends. And then the man's wife was always there. I don't think she worked in it. I don't think she was part of the business necessarily. So nice. Super nice people. Yeah, Joe. He always wore like a Hawaiian shirt. And Sarah? Yeah, Joe, Sarah. And I want to say the wife's name might have also been Sarah. Or I don't know. But anyway, they were great. They were like my adopted grandparents when I lived in Brooklyn. And yeah, good people. I actually kind of corresponded with the Sarah who worked there after I moved back to the West Coast. And then I moved into this like log cabin in the woods. It was really tiny, and I didn't have anywhere to sit and like write, so I lost touch. I stopped writing because of that. I feel really bad about it. I wish I'd stayed in touch with her, especially now. I'm not sure. All my stuff's in storage, and I probably have her address somewhere. She's still there, but that's been what, 08, 18. Oh geez, that's been 15 years ago now. That's crazy. But yeah, I miss them. Oh, anyway, so where I was going with this story was that on the same street, kind of like maybe across the street from where the coffee place was, I used to walk down there every morning. It was so great. There was a pizza place. There was a few pizza places, of course. It's, you know, the Italian area of that part of town. And I guess it's like probably Williamsburg, maybe ish. Anyway, so there's this pizza place that I went into one day. I walk in. It was like an exact replica of the pizza place I worked in Vegas, down to the menu, down to the garlic knots. I was tripping out. I was like, did my guy get his, like, the whole recipe or whatever, or blueprint for the Vegas restaurants from this place? Are they connected somehow? I haven't been able to find out. Maybe someday I'll get back in touch with that guy. I think he's still in Vegas. The restaurant's closed. I've looked on Google Maps. It's closed now. At least that one is. But yeah, I still want to ask him if he knows about that pizza place and if it had some connection, because exact replica, pretty much. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, where are we at now that I've been rambling on? 9 minutes. 15. Okay, I want to wait a couple minutes before I put that pan on. I mean, I could just keep this going, I guess. But yeah, so never had I had stromboli or calzone before, and I fell in love with them. And we used to make our own little mini pizzas. That was cool. But we had the best slices when they're fresh. With pizza like that, it's good fresh, not so much leftover. Places like, you know, Pizza Hut, you could eat it cold the next day and it's fine, but not with the other kind of pizza, at least not in my opinion, and not in that guy's opinion. Yeah, growing up, we had a place called Gino's Pizza, and kind of similar. They were also kind of a New York style Italian restaurant with pizza takeout also, and they had like a whole gelato thing there, which we never got gelato. Kind of interesting that we never did that. In fact, I don't think to this day I've ever tried gelato. Not that I can recall. Cannoli. Cafe Capri, they had cannoli there, but it was real heavy on the ricotta, so they weren't sweet. They were kind of very, very, it's not sweet. Definitely more taste the ricotta. So those weren't my favorites I've ever had. I've since had cannolis other places where the filling is more sweet and it's got maybe like the chocolate chips in it, which I could do without those. But that was one of the other things that was left at work there from this restaurant from yesterday when I guess they brought food and I wasn't at work. There was one cannoli left and I had that on my break. It was really good. Really, really good. But yeah, Gino's Pizza, that was a great place. We get like their pizzas, their antipastos. Go and eat there at the restaurant sometimes too. And probably got, I don't know, probably the same thing there. I don't know. I don't really remember ordering like a meal there per se. I was pretty young then. And I know spaghetti is like one thing. I don't know, like for me to order spaghetti at a restaurant, it would have to be like seafood pasta of some sort. And probably wouldn't be spaghetti just because, yeah, it's kind of messy. But yeah, I did used to like to make kind of sauces from scratch for the pastas I used to make. Never did do the pasta itself from scratch. I would like to do that though one of these days. Probably not in this kitchen, but we'll see. I have many dreams. Many, many dreams. Will any of them come true? Who knows? I'm sure some of them will. Hopefully the ones I really want. All right, I'm going to add this pan in now because we've got like 6 minutes. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to cut this video out, or cut it off now. And, well, no, I'm going to want to show you how it turned out. And I'm going to want to cut it open. This will probably be good. Oh, yeah. Perfect knife for that. And do I have a plate? I'm going to eat off a plate instead of my dish that I usually use. Alright, I gotta move the camera and my light. Yeah, there was something weird going on with my lighting yesterday when I did the, what did I make yesterday? Oh yeah, the egg fried rice. There was something really weird going on with my camera because when I went to rewatch it, I'm standing like about here on my neck. I look like a reptilian or something. It's so weird. I noticed, I was like, oh great, should I try to do something about that? And then I just was like, oh, whatever. I mean, I'd prefer to have like makeup on and my hair looking better and me looking better and me not being fat, among other things for these videos. But you know, if you wait for the perfect time to do things, you'll never do them. So yeah. All right, my fork, my favorite fork. I got my coffee made for tomorrow. I'm gonna I have to fill these. Well, at one point I bought water like at Walmart or wherever, but when I go to get water out of my sink here, half the time you can't get cold water. It's like warm. Then with the washing machine, when you want it cold, sometimes piping hot water's coming out of there, which, you know, that's your delicate clothes that you don't want to shrink, and it's got, so anyway, so because I can never rely on like cold water coming out of here, and you know, why is it warm? Where's it coming from? So usually what I'll do is fill these up at one point during the week on like a day off or something, and then just keep them in my cabinet refrigerator so that I can have just water. I mean, this water tastes disgusting anyway, the sink water. I guess it's really hard water because of granite or something, I don't know. Plus I'm like a super taster, so the water is nasty. In fact, I had been trying to use distilled water in my coffee maker just to keep the coffee maker from getting all crusted up with hard water deposits, mineral deposits. And when I'll like run a tap water batch through there, and just, yeah, the coffee's not as good. But the water, thankfully, I just kind of don't notice the water, like kind of if you're somewhere and it like has a weird smell, you just don't notice after a while. So I guess I become like taste blind to this water, thankfully, because every once in a while I'll take a drink of this water and I actually taste it and it's so gross. Ugh, I don't like it. Plus, not to mention what's in this water, who knows, probably fluoride, which I do not care for in my water. Yeah. Well, I almost rambled on long enough. 2 more minutes. Hi, Donovan. What you doing, buddy? I got the light on. Oh, I can't see it though because of that tinfoil tint that I put on top of it. Yeah. That's another thing. I guess I should be glad that I got this stromboli instead of that calzone because I don't have any red sauce to dip it in. So hopefully this is actually a stromboli, and hopefully there's no spicy meat in there or fatty meat because I don't like that. That's about it. Just been living on coffee, popcorn, and whatever food my mom has given me. She's been keeping me supplied with like various stuff, tuna, soup. Although I shouldn't be eating canned or frozen stuff, but you know, when you're desperate, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, it's apropos. Well, you can't really see it, that I have I Heart Spaghetti. This was actually I left this at my parents' house, and my mom just gave it back to me, which is cool because I was wanting some more aprons, some fun aprons. I wanted a Valentine's Day apron for like Valentine's Day month, but I guess this one's, it's got a heart on it. It's better than nothing, I guess. Let's see how much time we got left here. 40 seconds. Now I forget what the thing said about how to check and see if it's hot enough. I guess I can just pull it out and see how it looks. Let's see. All right, 20 seconds. I can turn that off. All right. Thing did say something about like leaving the tinfoil off the last couple minutes if you want it crispy, but it's actually feeling pretty crisp probably from that oil. So I think I'm just going to keep it hot inside. Okay, this is looking interesting. Oh, it's still cold in the middle. Shoot. All right, well I'll show it because it looks nice. Yeah, pretty good. It crisped up nice. It looks like it's got like, you know, ham or something on the one side, but when I just now cut it open, I'm seeing like pimento and like mushrooms. So I don't know what the heck this thing is, but it's gonna have to cook probably another 10 minutes, who knows. So I will maybe go in the comments, pin a comment about how it turned out, because I'm definitely not sure how it's going to go at this point since it's looking like there's some weird ingredients in there. So wish me luck.